Welcome to Rise and Shine Daily Business Tech Boost with me, Charly Latham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and break them down into bite-sized tips you can use right away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine. It's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Latham. Episode number 476 today. And I'm not going to do a screen share, I'm not going to do a tutorial. I just want to have a quick chat about membership sites and WordPress and whether you should build a membership site on WordPress and what you need to consider, and maybe we'll talk about some plugins. Now, I want you to notice, or systems, in fact. Now, I want you to notice that the last thing I said there is maybe we'll talk about what plugins and such you want to use. We want to talk about, when I get a lot of questions from people like, oh, we want to build a membership site. What would you recommend? And my answer is always, infallibly, invariably, it depends. It depends on so many things. And a lot of it, well, all of it comes down to what is it you want to achieve. So before we even get into looking at what plugins are out there and what works and what doesn't work and why you might choose one over the other, and I'm not even going to go there today. I just want to talk about where you need to start, where I think you need to start when creating a membership site. And that is, what is it you want to achieve? What is your objective here? When you say membership site, what does that mean to you? Now, the reason I say that is because everyone I talk to has a different view. Some people want a membership site so that people can log in and get their content. They've got a course they want to deliver, but they want to deliver it through a membership site. Some people just want a community where people can log in and chat to each other. Some people just want a way to deliver cheaper products or services with a different shopping cart. It really does depend. So let me go through a few things. Normally what I get when I get people saying we want a membership site is what they mean is they want to be able to deliver content to members that is membership only. Members only can have access to it. And maybe they want to have some form of community around it. Now, what do I mean by some form of community? Some way of interacting with each other, some way of liking the content, putting up comments, putting up their own posts, putting up, responding to each other, asking questions, a bit like Facebook, really, a bit like X, really, a bit like Instagram, really. It's kind of the meld of all of those three into a microcosm for yourself. So then we come to, okay, so you want to deliver content. How do you want to deliver that content? Do you have content that is only available to particular types of membership? Do you have content that is available to multiple types of membership? So can you be a member of one type of membership and a member of another type of membership and have access to the content of both? Do you want to segment it such that you only can be a member of one membership level? And do you see in the future that even if you want them to be a member of one membership level, do you potentially want them to be able to stack their membership levels? I guess is a good way of saying that. Then how do you want to deliver that content? Is it all at once? Do you just put it up and they log in and they can have access to it all at once? Do you want to drip feed it out so they get a piece of content every day, week, month, quarter, half year? Do they continue to have access to that content forever? Or is it a limited time period that they, sorry, I had to think about that they get access to that piece of content and then they can't have access to it anymore? What is it? How is it you see that your content being delivered? How is it you see your members interacting with that content? The reason I'm asking all of these questions is it's great for you to start thinking about that. So when you go to talk to your developer, when you go to talk to your consultant and say, I want a membership site, you can have all of this written down. You can have, you don't even need to have the final answers. You might have more questions that come from this that you need to ask people, but understanding how you want your content to be delivered, how you want your members to interact with that content is really important. So get that clear in your mind. What type of content is it? What is it you want your members to be able to do? Do they need to be, do you want them to be able to have multiple memberships accessing different types of content? Is it kind of a one membership fits all? How does that look to you? Yeah, how do you want to deliver that content? How long do they have access to that content? That's just some of the questions that I ask when people come to me and say, we want a membership site. Now, the reason I ask these questions is it's been a long road. It's been a long time that I've been doing this. And honestly, I still am surprised when we go to do something and I'm like, well, I've done this for you, like, but I didn't want it to work that way. And I go, I didn't even think to ask that question. So it's really good if you can, at the minimum, don't worry about what plugins are out there. Don't worry about what systems are out there. Be concerned with how it looks to you, because then we as developers and consultants can go and have a look at the systems that are there. We can do the check and the check and the tick and the cross and say, yes, that works. No, that doesn't. And have a look at what gives us the most features that is going to meet what you want. And then work out where the shortfalls are and how we might, if it's at all possible, meet those requirements. Once you've got that part of it, the other thing that you'll need to consider is how you sell that membership. Now, I don't mean how you go out and market it and where you're going to market and who you're going to market it to. That's another discussion entirely in all of this. But how are you going to sell it? When someone comes to your site and says, I want this, and clicks the buy button, how are you going to get the money from them? How are you going to get the money or their information so that you can give them access to, sorry, a new headband, and it's a bit, yeah. Anyway, how are you going to get their information and their money and then give them access to that content once you've worked out how you're going to deliver it all and what you're going to do with it? How are you going to do that? Do you want to be able to offer multiple payments? I was going to say 3 payments, three small payments a month, each of $99 a month or something. Do you want to offer multiple payments? Do you want to offer, do you want it paid all up front? Do you want to do a monthly subscription, or do you want to do a recurring subscription so that they just keep paying, and when they don't want it anymore, they stop paying? Once you've got that, it's okay. And which payment process which payment processes do you actually want to use? The first two that come to mind, or 3 that come to mind, are Square, Stripe, and PayPal. Do you want to use those? Do you have those accounts? Do you want to take credit cards? What is it? Do you have a bank that is offering you a credit card facility that you want to use? Understanding all of those constraints as early as you can is going to make creating your membership site that much easier, that much more cost effective for you, because we're not going to be repeating information. We're not going to be going back and saying, well, that's not working now because this new feature has come on, or this new requirements come in and we hadn't thought about that we didn't design this to work with that. Now, now that I say that, I really just have to caveat it with, not all of these are exclusive. It's not like, oh, well, once you've got it, that's it. That's all you can do. But often it is, okay, so these are the way you want to do it. This system over here does these things really well, but it doesn't handle these things. I'll come back to a couple of those. I can remember the examples in a minute. This system does these other things, but it doesn't do these things very well. And you're not ever going to get a perfect system. That would be the first thing I'm going to say. You're not ever going to get a perfect system. You will get something that comes off of the shelf, commercial off the shelf, that we can customize to a great degree. And then also you can use let me just rephrase that. So you can get something commercial off the shelf that will do X% of what you want it to do. And if we can get it to 60, 70, 80% of what you want it to do without having to touch it specifically, just use the built-in functions, that's great. The next part of it, the rest of it, that smaller percentage, which typically takes them more of the time to do, we may be able to use integrations, we may be able to use customizations, we may be able to write code that works with the APIs that are provided to give you the rest of the functionality. But if we don't know what that functionality is, it is really hard for us to make suggestions to you as to what it is. Now, I've said all that, and I've said, look, if you can get all of this written down, get it written down before you come talk to us. If you can't, that's okay. Come and talk to us. We will help. Come talk to someone like me. This is what I do with businesses. Come and talk to someone like me. I will sit with you. I will go through these questions. You may end up with some homework from me to go and have a look at a few things and come back and answer some questions for me. But I will work you through this process. This is where we start. Before I even start looking at what the solutions are, I want to understand what your vision for your business, for your project is. I often say, I like to say, what's your question? And then I'll give you some answers, not here's the answer now. Oh, sorry, what was the question you had? Because that's just us about. That's terrible. Okay, so some of the things that I have tripped over, because I just said I'd cover some of the things. So some of the membership plugins that I've looked at do things like you can have a course, and people can sign up for a course, and they can buy that course, and that's what they have access to. And then they go back through and they want access to the next course, so they go and buy the next course and they can have access to that. And then they can buy the next course and they can have access to that. Now, their one login will give them access to all of that. Sometimes there's a little bit of work around it, but that's it. That's all it does. It doesn't give us any community functionality. It doesn't allow us to give access to other parts of the systems that we create to draw them through. Sometimes those courses are just completely standalone, and no other parts of the system can access the content for that. It can be really frustrating. Sometimes those systems only support one or two payment processors, PayPal and Stripe, for example. That's all it supports. It doesn't support anything else. You want to use anything else? Well, maybe we need to write some customized software. Maybe we can't even do that because the APIs don't exist, and it's a major rewrite of the plugin itself. What else is there? Oh, can you drip feed content? How do you drip feed content? How do you ensure that they don't get content before do you want them to complete a unit before they get access to the next one, or do you just want to do it once every week they get a piece of content? Some plugins, some systems don't allow that to happen. It's no, well, you've sold a course, they get access to that entire course all at once. That's the sorts of things that we can help you delve into. I know the desire is often to go and have a look at what's out there and decide what it is you want to do. That's okay, you can do that, but going to your developer then after that, or your consultant then after, saying, I want to use this plugin, I'm going to say it's not the best way of doing it. The best way of doing it is going through your needs analysis, going through your requirements and saying to your consultant or your developer, here's everything I want to do. I think I can use this plugin. I'd really like to use this plugin, but be open to being told or having other things suggested as well. Now, the other question that I guess we should cover is, does it need to be a WordPress plugin, or can it be a system that is external to WordPress that sits somewhere else? Someone else manages all the membership functions and then we just send the members over there. Can be. Then the next question is, well, how does it integrate? If you're taking payments on your WordPress site, how do we integrate it with this external site? How do we ensure that if the payments stop, if it's a recurring payment and the payments stop, that their membership expires? If it's a 12-month membership? How do we ensure that the membership expires and they don't get access to their content? How do the two sites talk? When the member has to go and update their details, which system do they update their details in? Does it replicate, or do they have to go and do it in both systems? Just all the little things that we need to think about to make things move together, to make things click together nicely and just move along those tracks like a well-oiled machine. That's it. That's the word I'm looking at. That's the analogy I'm looking for. Work like a well-oiled machine that doesn't look like you've patched different systems together, that it looks contiguous, that it looks like it's all part of the one system, and it just works. These are all the sorts of things that myself as a developer, myself as a consultant, think about and ask you and try to answer for you and give you a solution that meets all your requirements and delivers an excellent user experience. I'm not actually going to go through any plugins today that could do this. There's a heap out there, and honestly, they change nearly every month. There's a couple out there that have been there for a while, and they've got some really great reputations around them. Some of them one of them I became a certified developer in many years ago. I mean, it'd be nearly 15 years ago I became a certified developer in that one, and I loved it. And I look at it now and it's still good, but I think there might be better out there as well. And I always go and look before I make my recommendations. Okay, guys, what do you think? I don't want to go into what the plugins are. I'm happy to, and I might do that in my next episode, just go through which plugins that are out there today to go have a look at. Some of the membership systems that might work for you to do what you want it to do as well. But what do you guys think? Do you have questions? Have you gone down the membership path and has it bitten you, or has it worked well for you? Did you have things that you tripped over that you really wish you'd known early on? Let me know. Whether you've got questions or comments, leave them wherever you are watching or listening to this video, or come across to my own membership site at locals.com, askcharlylatham.locals.com. You can join the conversation there. If this video has been of use to you, please give it a like. I would really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please, please, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlylatham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.